Hello friends, I am Dr. Jaspreet S Kohli, Trauma and Joint Replacement Surgeon at Assis Healthcare. Today we'll discuss another important topic, that is fractures and dislocations in elderly and ways to prevent them. Nowadays we find a trivial trauma to an elderly patient ends up in a comminuted fracture. Why is it so? First thing, as per age, there is a natural tendency of the bone to become weak and end up in a fracture with a trivial injury. This tendency is more so common in females because of estrogen deficiency. The bones become brittle and they break easily. Next, the muscles and ligaments, the tendons around the bone which support the bony structure, they also become weak. I won't say weak, they are not weak, but they are not as strong as they used to be. This is a common cause of fracture because we don't realize this thing. We feel that we are still as strong as we used to be earlier and we can do all the work which we once used to do when we were young. This thing should be realized. We should realize it to the earliest possible time so as to prevent a fall or a fracture related to a fall. Why I'm saying so is because as the age passes, even the healing capacity of the bone decreases. The fracture which used to heal early during the young time won't heal that early, will take a long time, would require a prolonged bed rest, may require surgeries also for an elderly patient. So I would say prevention is better than cure. So we should try to prevent a fall, prevent a fracture, than to heal a fracture. So basically there are three factors which needs to be taken care of. In spite of best possible way, still there is a tendency that there would be a fall, there could be a fracture, but we should try to prevent these factors so as to minimize those risks. The three factors, the first is the fall itself. If there is no fall, there won't be a fracture. Second thing, what is the force of the fall and what is the direction of the fall? What is the impact of the fall on the bone? The third thing, the strength of the bone, the fragility of the bone. So we'll discuss it one by one. First, the fall. We should see to it that we should prevent the fall to the minimum. For this, the environment around us, whether it is the outdoor environment or the indoor environment, should be helpful to us. We'll discuss it one by one. First, the outdoor environment. What should be done so that there is no fall? First thing, in case of an hasty weather, a rainy weather, or normal also, we should carry sticks along so that in case there is a jerk, there should be something in our hand to hold. So we should always carry a stick along. Second thing, should avoid ramps, use stairs wherever possible. Next, climbing up and down the pavement, we should see to it that the step is good, there is no pit there is no broken step. If we are going to a building and if we see a shiny floor underneath, we should avoid walking on the floor because it would definitely be slippery. We should always try to walk on mattresses which are usually placed everywhere. We do go to a religious place, try avoiding walking on the marbles because they are more slippery. Instead, walk on the mats which are placed everywhere. Next, we should see to it that our hands are free. We should use a shoulder backpack so that our hands are free. In case there is a fall, we can always hold an object with our hands, but that would only be done if our hands are free. Now, the indoor environment. Indoor environment is equally important as compared to the outdoor environment because we spend most of our time indoors. What should be done during the indoor environment? First, we should see that floor is clean of all the unnecessary items. Second thing, the floor should be smooth, but it should not be slippery. Third thing, if we are using carpets, they should be tucked to the floor. They should not be slippery, especially the carpets which are there on the staircase. We usually find carpets at religious places which are there on the stairs, but when we try to put weight on that, we slip down. So that is also a cause of fall and also a cause of fracture. So if we are using a carpet, they should be properly tucked in so that they don't slip. There should be railing on the stairs on both the sides. Next, there should be a good light on the steps so that we see where we are keeping our foot. That is more important. Second thing, if we are entering a room, there should be a switch at the entrance and at the bedside so that while entering the room, we switch on the light, then only we move around. We should see to it that we are not moving around in dark rooms because we don't know what is there in front of us so that we get stuck to it and we fall. So we should always see where we are keeping our foot. That is more important thing. Any electricity wires, any telephone wires should be out of the way. Next, we should always have a flashlight with us by the bedside. By chance there is no current, so we should always have a light with us. For the washrooms, there should always be side rails along the flush or along the area of bathing so that while standing up, we can hold it and stand up. While bathing, we should avoid using stools. Rather than we should use a high chair, we should be steady enough to bear our weight. Even the floors in the roof of the washrooms, they are slippery. So we should see to it that we have a anti-skid mats there in the bathtub on the floor so that we don't slip. Next, the bed should be high enough so that we don't tend to bend down or while sitting. The high we are sitting, the easy it is to get up. Next, we should try that all the items, the utensils which are to be used daily are in our reach. They are not up or down. But still, if there is anything which needs to be removed, a steady stool should be taken to get the item from a upper area. But we should make sure that there is somebody standing along with us so that in case of fall, he or she can hold us. Next, all our medicines, whatever medicines we are taking, a diabetic medicine, a hypertensive medicine, we should have ample amount of medicines with us. It should not be short, because many times it so happens is that the medicines are finished. We are not able to go to the market and get a medicine. In the meantime, our BP increases, our sugar increases, and we get vertigo, we get drowsiness, and we may fall. Also, whenever we are going to a doctor, get all the medicines along. Just let them know what all tablets you are taking, and also try to find out whether there is any interaction between these medicines. Also understand whether any medicine would cause drowsiness, would cause sleepiness, so that you can take that with caution. Try to live with your family, but still, in any case, if you are living alone, make sure that there is somebody around, either a friend or a family, who knows about you, who knows where you are. You talk with him daily, or he calls you up daily, so that they know that you are safe. So these were the indoor things which need to be taken care. One more important thing, the room should be well lit. All the rooms, kitchens, washrooms, staircase, bedroom, they should be well lit. We should not walk in darkness. So these were the indoor environment which needs to be modified so that there is no fall. Now the next part. In spite of all these things, still there is a tendency of fall. If at all there is a fall, so what should be done? The force of fall and the direction of the fall should be modified so that we get the injury to the least. Usually when we fall, either we fall to our back or to a side or to the front on our hands. So now just realize one thing. If you fall to the back, there would be injury to the spine. If you fall to the side, there will be injury to the hip joint. If you fall on the hands, there will be injury to the wrist joint. Fracture anywhere is important, but I would say a fracture on the wrist joint is less complicated than a fracture on a hip or a spine, because that would require prolonged bed rest, that would require complicated surgeries. So try falling to the front so that the impact is on the wrist joint, and if at all there is a fracture only of the wrist joint. Or fall down on the buttocks. Buttocks give you cushion area because of muscle mass. Then also the impact would be less on the bones underneath. Also, while falling, try to hold any object which is there beside you so that the impact gets minimized. So this was the force of the fall and the direction of the fall. The third important thing is the fragility of the bone, the strength of the bone. We should try to increase the strength of the bone. How would that be done? First thing, with a calcium rich diet, vitamin D supplementation. Definitely 90% of Indians are deficient in vitamin D, so vitamin D supplementation is required. High protein diet is required for muscle strength. Also see a doctor and take his advice to get a bone mineral density test done, and ask him about medicine to prevent bone resorption, but that all only with the advice of the doctor. Now, in spite of all these efforts, if there's still a fall and there's still a fracture, don't wait at home, don't go to a bone setter, because waiting at home will not solve a purpose. Going up to a bone setter will harm you more. So in that case, go to a specialist doctor in your locality, take his advice, get an X-ray done, get a proper treatment done from him, because we know there is a natural tendency that healing is delayed, but still we should try our level best to get the best possible treatment so that we get treated in the earliest possible time. I hope this video would have solved most of your queries regarding the fracture and dislocation in elderly. Still, if you have any doubt, do message us, text us, WhatsApp us, or call us at our number 730-710-7777. I repeat, 730-710-7777. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Asees Healthcare, our Instagram channel, Asees Healthcare. Share this video to the maximum number of people you can. Thank you very much.